Good morning, started, y'all. We're coming up next to the Mitchell Dixon show. Shout out to Georgia Ford. Good morning, Georgia. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Y'all, we got more coming up next. Y'all don't want to miss it. Stay tuned.
Rewind. Tell me what choice I have now. I just wanna get it right with you. But if we try to talk about it, our history says we'll just argue. And I know you're gonna act a fool. And then no one could tell the difference between me and you, babe. Watching from a distance, hiding these feelings.
When I tell you,
going through changes.
Fire this morning.
Bad, but now it's at my own expense. So I'ma just read it and delete it.
Did it not just get loud?
Knowing you won't read it before we get too far away. I need to clear my mind. I'd rather just.
There we go. My gosh, man. In Zoom, the volume was like on 1,000, bruh.
And we reach a point we can't rewind.
How's that sound, Dwayne? Does that sound much better, y'all? Y'all make sure y'all drop something in the chat. Make sure it sounds good, because, man, when I tell y'all I can hear nothing Dwayne said, I ain't hear nothing. Good morning again, y'all. Good morning, y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned. We got some good stuff coming up that you don't want to miss on the Mitchell Dixon show, y'all. Make sure y'all stay tuned. Got my brother from another mother starting up next.
I'd rather just read it and delete it. Oh, before we cross the line and we reach a point we can't rewind. Rewind.
That's why. Good morning again, everybody. How else to start off the morning with our Like It or Not's very own? I guess Like It or Not's very own. But our other brother from another mother, Mr. Nick Eaton.
I make mistakes, you know that I ain't perfect. I know the days have come when you don't think that it's all worth it. Just know I'm trying to make it, trying to take it up a level. Cause you're my favorite girl, my pride, my world. And may I have this dance, just give me a chance. Cause I'm a better man. And I know that though I messed up, I just need for you to see.
My gosh, the coffee is hitting this morning. Yes, indeed. I love it. Good morning again, everybody. Good morning. Truth the Dragon, good morning. Susan, good morning to you. Jill, Angela, good morning. Sister Savage, sweetheart, good morning. Anna Hart, good morning. Susan, I said your name, I think. Laura Estrada, good morning. Mark S. Good morning. Brother Chuck Diesel's in the building. What's going on, Chuck? Honey Wright, KFZ, good morning. Bubba, what did the Buffalo say to his son when he left for college? Bison.
Take a minute, let me get up in your mental.
That wasn't mine, but KFZ, that was a good one. Man, I really can't stand y'all. I love y'all to death. Jasmine, good morning. Shay, good morning. Courtney, the SLP. Buster, good morning. Brother Lateef. Edward. Sonny, good morning. Ear Hustler, what's going on? Good morning to y'all. Brother Lateef, good morning. The Pioneer, what's going on?
And I know
Stephanie Rampley, good morning to you. Lipsha, good morning. Y'all make sure that y'all stay tuned, okay?
To see how we could
Patricia, good morning. Angela Newman, good morning.
Baby, please. Start a family, have a whole lot of screaming kids. Yeah. Baby, you and me ain't nothing that we ain't win. Yeah. Please believe
Derek Fuller, good morning.
Baby, we can take over the world. Yeah.
KFZ, make sure that you send me a picture of that mug so I can steal some of those jokes, okay?
Start a family, have a whole lot of screaming kids. Yeah. Just you and me, ain't nothing that we can't win. Please believe in me, baby, we can take over the world, yeah. Just you and me, cause you're my favorite.
Brother Lateef, this is actually our own Nick Eden. Nick Eden, good morning to you, sir. You always drop the banger for us, man. I had to play this song. I didn't have it on the new computer, so I'm like, let me copy this over so I can play this tomorrow. Lily, good morning, y'all.
Let's settle down.
All right, everybody, it is time for the time. It is time for the Benjamin Dixon Show. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Brother from Another Mother is coming up next. Let's go. Good morning.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Welcome back, folks. It is Wednesday, September 8th, 2021. I am here with none other than DJ Exclusive, James Bubba Williams. How you doing, brother?
I'm great, brother. How you doing this morning, Ben?
I'm doing good. I'm not going to lie. I believe I could use at minimum 2 dad jokes today. If so, I don't know if I, where I need to cash app you to get the request in. Because, man, the news, man, the news is a lot. The news is a lot. And so other than that, though, I'm good. So,
right. I already feel you.
Yeah, man. It's one of those days. Let's jump in. I want to begin with what's going to be happening in Washington, D.C. that's coming up soon in response, or rather almost an extension of January 6th. We have a clip of Representative Swalwell as he's explaining the threat that is coming this month to Washington, D.C. There's a part 2 of the attack on January 6th. Now, we're going to get to Afghanistan in a moment with Senator Lindsey Graham, but I wanted to make sure that people are aware that what happened on January 6th is not considered to be a mistake by the people who were there, because they're going back for more. Let's take a look at this clip.
And you know what? This is America. They can peacefully assemble. They can celebrate whatever they want. But Americans should know that in a couple weeks, Republicans are going to come to the Capitol to celebrate cop killers. And these are the same people that tell the other lie, because there's twin lies right now that are literally killing us. The lies about the election and the lies about the vaccine. So these unmasked individuals celebrating cop killers, creating, more and more mutations that are threatening our kids will be in Washington, D.C. We just have to make sure that if they are ready to get violent, that we're ready again in a better way than on January 6th to defend the Capitol.
Yeah, and the other lie about January 6th is about what took place that day. I mean, there are those lies as well. You're right. Let's talk about the January 6th Select Committee.
This isn't Martin Luther King in Birmingham jail that they're, going to try and break out. They go to the jails in D.C. to try and help people that abuse cops like Officer Michael Fanone and Danny Hodges and Sergeant Cannell and Harry Dunn, the heroes of that day. So we have to remind people every day that, they are celebrating people that beat cops, people that were a part of the circumstances that killed a cop, and we have to remind Americans that, otherwise they will seek to erase it.
Now, in advance of this, the Washington Metropolitan Police Department said that it's going to have a, quote, increased presence around the Capitol on September 18th, when a group organized by a former Trump campaign staffer. I want us to hear that part in particular. Who's organizing this is a former Trump campaign advisor, staffer, and they plan to gather on the Capitol grounds. Capitol Police Chief Tom Manger said the agency is closely monitoring plans for September 18th. James, I think people really need to understand that we may not see it, but there is an entire half of this country that really believes that they have suffered underneath the brutal oppression of the empire that represents everything they believe in. Let me just say it a little more plain. Like, these fools are marching up the steps of the empire that has served their best interest for the last, since it's been here. This country has done the bidding. If anybody needs to be marching up the steps of the Capitol, it should be black, brown, and marginalized people. But we know better because we know those same police officers who are not going to do anything who did not. Well, let me be sure. The Capitol police officers did a lot on that day. But I also want to say there are police officers in that crowd. There were police officers who were in the crowd on January 6th who actively participated in this. And so we got to be clear. Like, it's got to be the height of absurdity for us to see these people, these white men who really believe that America has been harmful to them. It doesn't add up, James. How does that work?
Ben, it doesn't work. I mean, I can't say that it doesn't work, but clearly it does. These people about to do this same thing again. And I'm just ready to see what the outcome is going to be. I really think it's going to be worse. But the bad part about it is nobody's heard nothing about it until now.
That's right. That's right. And there's a thing. I'm glad you said that, because there is an entire... I think sometimes we forget that simply because we don't see it, that it doesn't mean it's not happening. There is an entire cabal led by Steve Bannon, the former advisor for Donald Trump, of people who are gathering and preparing for the second Civil War. These pastors talk about it in their church every Sunday. The radio hosts talk about it for 3 hours every single day in every single market. You cannot go anywhere in this country and not have access to this type of propaganda that is pushing us towards a second Civil War. That's because it is so many people who are behind it, who fund it, who finance it, because it is beneficial to an entire group of people, namely white Christian men. But here they are, marching up the steps. Again, they're going to be going up the steps. And one last thing before we move on to the next clip. I know I'm not sure that we should expect any stronger response from America towards these terrorists. And what I mean by that is when they go up there September 18th, I don't expect America to treat them like they would have treated any black person who had the nerve to do anything remotely like that. And this is despite the fact of all the evidence of January 6th. If black folks managed to get away with January 6th, do you think we would be able to gather again 9 months later? Not at all.
Not at all, Ben.
That said, one other thing that these people are really good at doing is, and I actually want to shift gears a little bit here and go to Afghanistan, because one thing that this same group of people, I have no problem jumping from evangelicals to conspiracy theorists to warmongers like Lindsey Graham, because they are all a part of the same cabal. Here's a clip of Lindsey Graham trying to lay the foundations for the United States to return to Afghanistan. Let's take a look.
The caliphate. It rose on Obama and Biden's watch, and Trump sent the military in to destroy it. When he left, there were 2,500 U.S. soldiers on the ground with NATO allies. They're no longer there. He killed Soleimani, which I think was a good thing. He rebuilt the military in a fashion where we can be effective all over the globe. The deterioration of the military during the Obama years was real. Whether you believe it's Trump's fault or Biden's fault, here's where we're at as a world. The Taliban are not reformed. They're not new. They have a view of the world out of sync with modern times. They're going to impose a lifestyle on the Afghan people. They're going to give safe haven to al-Qaeda, who has ambitions to drive us out of the Mideast writ large and attack us because of our way of life. We will be going back into Afghanistan as we went back into Iraq and Syria.
You seriously think the United States will once again, in a foreseeable future, put troops back into Afghanistan?
We'll have to, because the threat will be so large. Why did we go back to Syria and Iraq? Why do we have 5,000 troops in Iraq today? Because of the caliphate rising, projecting force outside of Iraq, killing Americans, killing the French, attacking the British. So yes, it will be a cauldron for radical Islamic behavior. You cannot deal with this over the horizon. Here's my solution. Help the resistance in the Panjshir Valley. The Taliban will not be able to govern Afghanistan. They're hated by the Afghan people. What's going to happen over time is you're going to see the resistance rise. ISIS will come after the Taliban, and the entire country is going to fracture in the next year. creating a perfect storm for Western interests to be attacked, you can do one of two things. You can say that's no longer my problem, let it build and get hit, or hit them before they hit you.
James, $2 trillion in war. 20 years of war. And I want to be sure. He tried to do something here that I'm not going to let him get away with. He tried to lay the creation of ISIS at the feet of President Obama. Now, I probably have some of the most robust critiques of President Obama. Today's not the day for that. But let me tell you something. ISIS is a direct extension of what President Bush did in Iraq. ISIS is a creation of the fallout and the aftermath of the invasion in 2003. Al-Qaeda emerged into ISIS. And so our destabilizing of the region directly created ISIS. But I digress. $2 trillion, 20 years of war is not enough for a man who's never going to go serve in the military. Ever. Never did. Never would.
And I don't think, excuse me, I don't know why they think that going back would be a good idea. And he just sounds dumb. Let's just be honest. We call a spade a spade. He sounds real ignorant and stupid. I mean, it makes no sense. They try to sell us this stuff that why we should go back, why we should do this, why we should do that. It makes no sense. Somebody said it in the chat perfectly just now. Why does America feel that we need to police the world?
That's right. That's right.
Why do we feel that way?
Good question. I'm glad you asked.
Right, Dwayne.
We see the receipts of where those $2 trillion went. Those $2 trillion did not go to the troops. No. That's not how the military-industrial complex works. Those $2 trillion that was not enough or sufficient enough for Lindsey Graham, they went to 5 defense contractors in Virginia. Now, I'm a little cautious about attacking them directly because $2 trillion, you messing up the bank, like you messing up the bag for real. Like these organizations will do anything to keep that kind of money coming in. So do you think they won't go right back into war? So through that lens, Lindsey Graham is out here doing the bidding of his corporate donors, the people who are funding him. He's out here sounding as dumb as he sounds, James, because they're writing him a pretty big check.
And Ben, that was going to be my next question to you. So basically, this is all a money garner. So basically, you're saying to your supporters, hey, you vote for me and get your people and your constituents to vote for me, then I will get this war contract and I'll make sure that when we go to this country, get this $2 trillion. I'll give you $138 million. I'll give you probably about $1 billion or so, and we'll be good to go. This is all a money gander.
Listen, man, how do you think they fund all of the apparatuses that we see? Because let's be clear, like whether or not the money is coming directly from the quote unquote military industrial complex, we got to be sure about something. The kind of consent that is required from 330 million Americans to allow us to go into a 20-year war, that kind of consent can only come by billionaires funding media organizations. And I want to let's go one step closer. If you are a watcher of any of the mainstream media, I want you to just take note of who the commercials are sponsored by. Northrop Gun, I can't even pronounce that one. The other one, Boeing. It's going to be well, back in the day, you used to see Halliburton commercials. I mean, literally in the industrial complex, the military industrial complex. But I want you to go as you watch mainstream media, if you must. If you look at the commercials, you're going to see commercials for jets, for the army, for the military, for weapons, for defense contractors. And that is how they fund consent amongst the American people to allow us to go back to war. So we have to hit this head on right here, right now, because at the end of the day, if we do not stop this seed that Lindsey Graham is planting, we will find ourselves back in Afghanistan for another 20 years to the tune of $2 trillion or probably $4 trillion at that point. And that's going to buy a lot of yachts for billionaires in this country. So.
Or if anything, they're just going to try to get them in the Space Force. Damn Space Force. I'm going to go join just so I can say I'm in the Space Force.
They couldn't
shoot me in space. Take me off Earth.
Earth is ghetto. They couldn't even call it Starfleet. Like of all the things they could have called it Space Force. But if it is a choice, I'm going to be honest with you though. If it's a choice between spending that kind of money on killing people or spending that kind of money exploring space, and that's probably why they wouldn't call it Space Starfleet, rather Space Force, because they're going to go up there shooting missiles. They're going to go up there blowing stuff up. They're going to go up there looking for an enemy versus going up there to explore. And just imagine what $2 trillion could have done for the exploration of space and the preservation of this planet, for that matter. So that's a good point, man. But I'm not joining Space Force, man. They're going to put us in some escape pods and shoot us out into the vacuum of space when they get done with us. All right, one more clip before we move to the next segment with Like It or Not. We're going to be joined later on today by Pascal, Brother Pascal from the Pascal Show. Oh, he's already here. So let's bring on to the stage at this time none other than our brother from another mother, Brother Pascal from the Pascal Show. How you doing, man?
Hey, what's up, y'all? How you doing? Good morning.
Bald head Voltron unite.
All day with our powers combined. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. And it's funny because we got Dwayne in the background and David, who are both balls. I'm like, it's 5 freaking bald head guys. What the crap?
It's a beautiful thing, though. I ain't complaining. Right. Are you?
Okay. No, not at all.
Are you?
Look.
That's what I thought.
I can't stand you, Pascal. You know that. You know what? Just for you. You know, I'm gonna wait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I was gonna say now's a good time. We'll do it in a minute. Because I need those dad jokes. I need, take 2 dad jokes and call me in the morning. Pascal, I want you to take a look at this clip with us from Joe Rogan.
Sure.
And it's dealing with ivermectin. And after we watch the clip, I'm going to tell you about the side effects of ivermectin and why it's the funniest plot twist that we did not see coming. Let's run that clip.
Do I have to sue CNN? They're making shit up. They keep saying I'm taking horse dewormer. I literally got it from a doctor. It's an American company. Mm-hmm. They won the Nobel Prize in 2015 for use on human beings.
Yeah.
And CNN is saying I'm taking horse dewormer. They must know that that's a lie.
Well, there's a lot of people saying it. I meant like USA Today, a few other places.
You took IV drips and what was it?
Monoclonal antibodies.
And what is monoclonal antibodies?
It's the shit they gave Trump. I had this guy on, Dr. Pierre Corey, and he is, what is the organization he's from? Frontline COVID critical care workers, well-established doctors, treated thousands of people with COVID. And they've, early on in the pandemic, they found some good efficacy with ivermectin. Frontline 19 Critical Care Alliance. Multiple doctors told me to take it. Mm-hmm. It's supposed to have what is the exact? And this is obviously I'm not a doctor. It says ivermectin was found to be a blocker of viral replicase protease, and I don't know what this word is. Human TMPRSS2. I got better.
Yeah, you got better quickly.
They try to make it seem as if like I'm doing some wacky shit that's completely ineffective. And
right.
CNN was saying that I'm a distributor of misinformation. Tokyo Medical Association chairman held a live press conference recommending ivermectin to all doctors for all COVID patients.
It's kind of hard to figure out what's the truth. People go, it's insane to take ivermectin. Like, you see it everywhere.
You know, there's a lot of speculation. One of the speculations involves the vaccines, that in order for there to be an emergency use authorization, there has to be no treatment for a disease.
Right.
So because there is this treatment in ivermectin, and there's other treatments too.
Right.
There's a lot of pushback against potential treatments and pretending that they don't really work or that they're conspiracy theories. The grand conspiracy is the pharmaceutical companies are all in cahoots to try to make anybody who takes this stuff look crazy. But what's crazy is look how better I got.
Yeah.
I got better pretty quick.
And then later on, he said he didn't actually have COVID-19. So which is it? Which is it, Joe Rogan? now, bro, really? I got all the receipts, but I'm gonna yield the floor to you, Pascal.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you. First off, I didn't even know that he said that he didn't have the Rona.
Right.
After that, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's extreme, and this is, of course, only like my own personal opinion. I just think that it's very irresponsible for him to go onto his microphone where millions, hundreds of millions of people are listening to him, or at least he's making $100 million, over $100 million some odd dollars. So I'm assuming he's got over hundreds of millions of people that listen to his podcast, listen to him and take everything that he says like it's scripture. Mm-hmm. And he's not even doing the proper responsibility right now of saying, hey, guys, OK, so this is what I did. This is who I talked to. These are the people that you know what I'm saying? Do more of a better breakdown and a better understanding of what's going on. But for you to go out there initially and say, oh, I have the vid. I got the 19. I got that Rona. And then later say you didn't have it, but you took this stuff. This is idiotic. Let me
make a slight correction in my language. He didn't say he didn't have it. He said he tested negative for it 2 days later.
After taking this ivermectin.
That's called a false positive, you freaking retard, you freaking jerk.
So now, but that's the thing. That's what I mean. He has a platform in which millions of people are watching him. Millions. Remember that time when the dude with the with the Dorito dust said something along the lines of like, hey, why don't we shoot up some disinfectant into our bodies? And guess what happened? People
started doing it.
People tried to do that ish. You know, they took exactly what he said seriously. And these people, everybody has a responsibility. This thing right here is a very powerful thing. And if you don't use it the right way, you could kill millions of people. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He's getting on his damn microphone and saying some crazy stuff. Man, I used to be a fan of this dude right here, and I'm not even anymore. Like after seeing all this stuff, I'm like, bruh, really? Bruh, you saying all this stuff? Do you understand that there are mothers, fathers, grandparents that maybe not grandparents? They're probably like, what's a podcast? But still, there's a lot of people out here that are still fans of him. Listening to clinging on every single syllable that comes out of that mouth. And the fact that he is totally taking no responsibility for the power that he has with this device right here. It pisses me off. It absolutely pisses me off.
Yeah. I used to be a fan of Joe. Not really a fan. Like, I have crass humor, and my humor is pretty
right.
So that would show you why I like Joe Rogan from time to time. And in fact, to be fair to Joe Rogan, not that I need to be, he had one of the best interviews at the beginning of the pandemic with the doctor who was breaking down exactly what we could expect, and word for word has come true over the last 2 years. Now, setting that aside, how many people listen to that interview versus the millions that are out here now listening to him talking about horse dewormer? I want to go through a couple of receipts. We got some images. One of the things that he said in this was that he got this from the frontline workers or frontline doctors. That is an actual organization, not an identification. It is these people. These are the people who came out in favor of hydroxychloroquine when Donald Trump said, go take hydroxychloroquine. These people are a nonprofit organization. And according to an article in Time magazine, what has been happening is that thousands of people have been calling in to the frontline doctors and getting consultations by paying first $90. $90, and some paid hundreds of dollars to get a consultation that many people are suing them now because they never got the consultation. So here's the gag, according to Time magazine. Time magazine said these same people that you see on the screen now who promoted hydroxychloroquine, the frontline doctors, the same people who have been doing the bidding of Donald Trump throughout this entire thing. Because if you follow this organization, they are a far right-wing organization of doctors, including the black woman there who was did you remember the clip, Pascal, last year of her talking about how we need to stop women from sleeping with demon sperm and getting pregnant by demons in their sleep? Because I promise you, that's who that is. And this is who Joe Rogan is promoting.
Yeah, sex demons. Yeah.
Sex demons. Now, last but not least, here's a gag. The gag is not as many people are getting ivermectin as want to get it because, well, You paid this group your consultation fee, and you never got the consultation. So there's going to be some class action lawsuits against these people, but it's actually probably a good thing that these people got fleeced, these conservatives who are chasing, or these Joe Rogan supporters who are chasing after ivermectin, calling into the frontline doctors, trying to get a consultation. Oh, give me $100 first, and then they never had the consultation. They might have saved some lives from being sterilized because according to 2 studies, it appears as though ivermectin causes sterility in men. So I thank you, Joe Rogan. That's all. That's all I'm going to say.
Do you mind if I say something? Do you mind if I say something real quick?
Help yourself, man.
Here it is. Joe Rogan. Joey Joe. It's a direct message to you if you're watching. It's the greatest show on earth, so check it out. My problem with you is this. If you were cured, right? You woke up one day, 2 days later, the test comes out negative, right? You take a photo of it, you put it out there. Why don't you bring in those experts? Why don't you show me the Carfax? Show me the Carfax. Bring in those experts. Sit them down. Don't bring a comedian on. I forgot the guy's name, but don't bring that comedian on and start talking about this ish. Bring on those professionals, those experts. Interrogate them, interview them, put it all out there for the world to see. Give us the Carfax. That's all we need. Show us the facts. Show us the proof. Instead of just saying it. Because like I said, people are desperate out here. People are more desperate than ever. We are losing a lot of people from the vid. We really, really are. That's no lie. And people, all of a sudden, when they find out that they're sick, like I said, everyone gets terrified. Absolutely, just the world is shattered. Some of these people, because they automatically think, "Oh my God, I'm going to die." So what do? They turn to influencers and commentators for guidance instead of listening to their doctors, and instead of listening to science and what they've been saying, what to do, what not to do, they listen to somebody like Joe Rogan. So instead of you going, came out negative, I'm good, and then talk to a comedian about this comedian he has no credentials showing that he has any expertise in this realm. He ain't an old farmer that you just tried to use ivermectin on himself and suddenly, whoop, I'm negative. Like, he has no proof. So bring in the experts, interview those dudes live on your show. Show us the proof.
That's right.
Instead of just talking it out, because people are crazy out here and they will do anything, and next thing you know, they're taking their lives because they listen to you and the misinformation that you're throwing out right now. Had to say it. It's just, it angers me.
It's absolutely right.
I instantly think of, if this was my mother, you know what I'm saying? If this was or any loved one that's like, oh, I love me some Joe Rogan, and he just tests negative after 2 days
with ivermectin.
With ivermectin and a cocktail of other things. Because some experts, who are these experts? Oh, I had these people coming in and tell me what it is. Who are these people?
Wait. Put the experts on the screen again for me, Dwayne, so they can see the experts as the demon seed people. Go ahead.
Because I tell you what, I know my mama they didn't give my mama ivermectin when she was there. Now, they did give her hydrochloroquine, whatever it's called, but the ivermectin was not in her cocktail that they gave her.
And here's the thing. I was listening to Sam Cedar the other day, and he was talking about the different components of how taking some of these drugs that they're suggesting taken in large volumes can have some impact on COVID-19. Nothing remotely comparable. Magnitudes of order less. Like, it's not even in the same universe. It's in a mirror universe in comparison to what you can do with the vaccine. If you're looking for something effective against the pandemic, it's not the horse dewormer stuff that's going to cause you to go sterile. But let me just keep my mouth shut, because go ahead and promote it, man, because at the end of the day, Like, as much as I am, like, I really feel bad every time I hear a story of a conservative who denied the pandemic and they end up dying, right? There's a part of my humanity that's pricked. There's another part of my humanity that says, oh, well, the Darwin Ward's a win. And so Joe, you know, Jimmy Dore and Alex Jones and Donald Trump, you guys are funding your own genocide. Y'all are worried about white genocide? COVID-19 causes erectile dysfunction. Ivermectin, according to 2 studies, one is documented on Wiley Online Library. You can go Google it yourself. Causes sterility in men. It's not going to be it's going to be a winter of discontent for white conservative men. I'll tell you that much.
So they'll be shooting blanks.
Pew, blanks. Pew. Let's go to a quick break. When we come back, we got none other than our sister from another mister, Rebecca Azor, coming to the screen for Like It or Not. We'll be back after this.
Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got more coming up next. Like it or not, we'll start soon. And hey, I do want to apologize for that R word. That was a slip up, and it did not mean to come out like that. So again, I apologize for that, man. Want to make sure I get that out there, man. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. We got Like It or Not coming up next with Rebecca Azor. And I got something else coming up for y'all. So y'all stay tuned, y'all. More coming up next with the Dixon Show.
I'm gonna recoup, yeah. But don't waste my energy. I don't got much, don't be wasting all my energy. I keep it tight, don't let nobody get close to me.
I love y'all too, man. I appreciate y'all.
Your mind integrity, no, I thought we would be just
Infinite Content, thank you for your super chat. Infinite says they can even shoot blanks because the gun is broken. Y'all stupid. Good morning, mama and daddy. Good morning, mama and daddy. Good morning, Q. Love y'all. Good morning.
What's from me won't be from me.
Thank you, Savage Sweetheart. Real quick, I want to get y'all read off a couple of comments. I told the new patrons for yesterday. Patrons for yesterday. I can't stand y'all in this chat room, man. Our new patrons, we have Valerie B. Twin subscribers, we have Tactical Melon Farmer. There we go. And A's the one. Yo, Corey 0071 who resubscribed. And also the Chicken Fried Dragon gifted a subscription to Nos Custodiamos. Bethan NJ, Ricky 26K, and Sankofa CSD. Shout out to y'all, man. And if you have not already, you too. Get you going. Like it or not, Patreon. Patreon.com/like it or not. Patreon.com/like it or not. Or Patreon.com/the Benjamin Dixon Show. Is that right, Dwayne? Yeah. All right, the Benjamin Dixon Show. So either one of those Patreons you can join, y'all. And you'll have both of them in there. Shoot the Dragon, thank you for your super chat. She says, I love the people in this room. And Ben, Rebecca, Dr. Mac just sending out some love to you all, saying how much I appreciate you guys. Shoot the Dragon, we appreciate you too, sister. Love you so much. Let's see. Lipsha Morrissey, good morning to you. Ginger Snap says, ivermectin is made by Merck, one of the biggest pharmaceutical companies in the world. It's all a money grab. It's all about the money. If it ain't about the money, that's what T.I. said. But I digress though. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. Like it or not is coming up next, y'all. Stay tuned, all right?
Honestly, I shouldn't. Caught up in my feelings, messed up and I'm sprung. Something in your smile.
Adam Ward, good morning to you. Good morning.
Me, you wanna come over? Can I come over? I wanna come over. Thinking about your ocean. Swimming pool is closed and I'm in the deep end. The waves are washing over. I know I'm not sober.
I wish I could play that too.
I wanna come over. Why you leave me like that? Girl, don't do me like that. Ooh.
This sounds like Mario. Baby, you should let me love you. Let me be the one to give you everything you want and need.
know you wanted some closure. You said you wanna move forward. I know we're not done. I'm thinking about our moments.
So y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. It's time for Like It or Not to go down. But before it does, Sundays are always a little sad. But the day before is a Saturday. Like it or not, it's about to go down.
Like It or Not with Benjamin Dixon starts now.
Say good morning, man. I can't stand you, Jay.
I'm about to spit my coffee out. Good morning.
Just figure that out.
Good morning, everyone. It took him that long to figure out.
Like a grenade, it just finally went off.
Yeah, I was ready. Good morning and welcome to Like It or Not. We're free to tell the truth.
And not care who doesn't like it, okay?
It is Wednesday, September 8th, and I was not
crunk up in this club. Sorry.
We are joined this morning by none other than our sister from another Mr. Mary J. Blige, also known as Rebecca Azor, from the highest of Seven Hills. Rebecca, how you doing?
As my camera goes off.
I'm doing good, thanks.
Pascal, yes, I didn't get it till the music was rolling for Rebecca's for that intro. It's not quite yet Rebecca's intro. We're customizing it, but yes, it took me a minute to get Saturday. Saturday.
It is
my
SADDER.
Coffee's finally kicking in, right? Coffee's finally
Saturday.
kicking in.
Well, it's decaf because we ran out of caffeinated, and I didn't feel like going into the Delta variant. So, Pascal and Rebecca, I honestly can just log off and let y'all do y'all thing. I try to do that every Wednesday, but it don't work.
Yeah, you got to stop doing that because you can't just be pulling up, get all strong for the first two shows, and then every time you get to Like It or Not, be like, all right, y'all, I got somebody filling in, so I'm going to go ahead and let y'all do what needs to be done. I don't like that.
My work here is done. Peace.
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter is, it should be viewed as flattery because I want to sit in the audience and enjoy the laughter as we have to go through all these different stories.
That's what Dr. Carl Mack said, and we ain't seen him since.
He went running. I'm just kidding.
Brother Mack is engaged in some high level strategery and working on projects. He's got some stuff coming out. He's got some new stuff coming out. It's going to be really dope. But yeah, he did say the same thing. But I like sitting in the audience though. It's the truth. So anyway, I'm going to digress. What's going on?
Nothing much is going on. I know that we have a guest on the show today. Pascal, is there anything new? Like, what's going on? Like, I know today. So let me tell y'all. Today,
she actually gonna ask you a question.
She do every time.
Pascal, I'll get you in a second. So let me tell you, I text Ben because I didn't know. Like, I wanted to make sure, like, let me not pop up on screen. And today was supposed to be my day off because I know that I did agree with that. And then Ben agreed with you with that. So I'm like, okay, he's coming on because I was already like halfway on the eyebrow. So I was like, I need to make sure that I'm not going to do the full brow if he's about to be on. So Ben always leaves me on red right up until the show. So I just thought, okay, let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and do the full thing. Then he goes, Ben going to text me like, Heifer, get your ass on the show. And I'm like, I'm here. He didn't say that, but he said that. You got to read through his text messages. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm here. Like, no worries. But yeah, I just needed to be clear because I didn't want to come on and then have it look crazy like last Wednesday when he was confused and so was I. So
who's confused?
Oh, it's all good.
No. I mean, listen.
It's all good.
We get two extra R&B singing Haitian sensations at one time. It couldn't be a better morning, Pascal.
Mary J. Blige and Joe.
Mary J. Blige and Joe on the screen. Joe, they don't have a duet together, but I think y'all should do one this morning.
No, my voice. That's why I said T.
We good.
I got it.
We good.
You know.
All right. So let's do this. What I do need, is no, none of them, James. What I do need though is I want you guys to take a look at there's a couple of clips that we obviously got to go over, and Rebecca, some of them there's stuff that we've been covering all week. It's a lot of it's a lot. I just have to say, like, this morning I found myself just staring in the distance, realizing all the different crap we're going through right now. The pandemic, the attack on women's rights, the attack on voting rights, the people who think they want a second civil war, they're going back to Washington, D.C. to march up the steps again at the end of this month. Meanwhile, we got all this other stuff going on in each of our own individual lives. It's just a lot. And the truth of the matter is it's going to continue going. So let's take a look at any of these clips. David, I want you to cue up whatever our first clip is, because I guarantee you it's going to add to all the stuff we're going through right now.
Ben didn't know which clip was.
Good morning.
I can. All right, Rebecca.
You ain't nothing, girl.
So Rebecca, you ain't about that, because
Rebecca was in the spreadsheet.
How many times have I covered for your ass?
It was good,
black
though.
woman.
No, I didn't expect you. Ben said, it was.
I couldn't find the link. I couldn't find the link with your.
It was strong. And
Rebecca's
then
no. Let me tell you something.
Just pick a clip.
Rebecca.
We ain't go with F1.
Rebecca. Oh, all the stuff from behind the scenes. We're going to say on air next time. Go, run the clip, David.
Do you know God's favorite job is a gardener? Adam was a gardener. You are being called to the Garden of America to pull out the weeds of liberalism, to pull out the disease of democracy, and to restore the walls of the republic, and to rebuild the hedges of holiness, and to place within this nation the hedgerows of the law of God, the rule of law, and the rule of this great republic.
Who that?
I got nothing.
That was
right. Who that?
That was Shane Vaughn.
Yeah,
we've had him on the show before. He's the evangelical pastor that covers a lot of BS. I remember he covered, what was it, the 666 whatever.
I don't think he was. He's right there with them though. He's in the same ilk.
Yeah, they're the same crew. Yeah.
Do y'all hear him say we got to get rid of democracy? Did y'all? He kind of slid that in there, but he high key said we got to get rid of the evil roots of democracy.
He did say that. He said that towards the end.
That's wild.
But he also said that Adam was a gardener. I just, and I feel like this is what I feel like.
Apples.
Apple got stuck in his throat. That what kind of gardener is that? Anyway, but I feel like they'll use all of these promising areas in the Bible, and that's how they'll cover a lot of the BS that they say. But whether it's BS or not, I feel like they will always have, you guys, why do they always have a platform to speak? He's in a closet, possibly. He's in the closet possibly with all these books behind him that I'm pretty sure he hasn't read. Maybe metaphorically, or I'm not sure. It could be any one of the two. But he's literally in the closet.
I used to do my show from the closet, so I got
trapped in the closet.
He's coming out of the closet. He's in the closet.
I got a whole series of videos in my closet, so y'all leave this man's closet.
Bill was stuck in the closet. He's finally out of the closet. Go ahead.
Him? Like what? What's that picture? Is that a camel and like one of the disciples type thing?
No, that's George Washington kneeling and praying.
Oh, Ben, you got good eyes.
Dang, Ben.
Yeah, taking a knee.
Seriously.
Nah,
I thought you were talking about the picture over his shoulder. The other shoulder, his. I guess that's a wife. His wife.
Yeah, that's his wife.
Poor woman.
Yeah. Anyway, I just don't think it was 1776.
Yeah, what does that stand for?
It's the founding of the country, and it's a pushback against the 1619 project that documents the first slave that was brought to this country. So him putting 1776 up there is his statement of saying, screw y'all critical race theory, history of slavery. We only going to celebrate
It's giving
the white
like
supremacy.
hooded. It's giving like hooded.
Very much so.
In the night, writing, to go lynch another black man type thing.
And somebody in the chat reminded me now of who he looks like. And last time I saw the video, I couldn't figure it out. The Papa John's man.
He got a red shirt on too, man.
Oh, he does.
Better
and did he come out as racist too?
No, this is crazy. We are literally allowing these men these pastors who are supposed to be preaching of love and unity and all that, because that's what God or Jesus stood for. If you are a Christian, you know that he represents love. That's God is love, and then, he gave his only begotten son. I don't know. It's something like that in the Bible, right? And then, but he did that. And all these people do not represent that. There's so much hate that goes on, whether it's about sexuality or skin color and race and all that. What they'll do is, will say, God loves you, then stand in their church and have this divided conversation, feed it to their people, and those people will go out into the world and say, God told me to kill black people, or God told me to murder or bring a gun to school because of this trans person, or this person from the LGBTQIA community. Like, this is exactly what's being preached in the church, and what's being these people are going out to just do. Like, they're translating what he's saying and going to do really dramatic things in the world. And that's not godly at all.
Well, we got another dose of evangelicals. Who coined that? Was that you, Rebecca? Somebody in the audience, but evangelicals. Since I have my list here, I can introduce it properly this time, Rebecca. MAGA pastor Jackson LaMayer used a Sunday sermon to declare that Black Lives Matter is not only demonic, but it's built on a Jezebel spirit and a whole
I love
lot
a
more.
Jezebel spirit.
I love a Jezebel spirit. Ain't it the best? Hallelujah.
What is the spirit of Jezebel? It's a manipulating spirit. You say, give me an example of the spirit of Jezebel here in the United States of America today. It's very easy. The organization called Black Lives Matter, that's the spirit of Jezebel behind that organization. You say, what are you talking about? Are you saying black lives don't matter? Quit being a moron. That's not what I said. I said the organization called Black Lives Matter is operating under the spirit of Jezebel. Did you know that organization was founded by witchcraft practicing lesbians? That's who founded the organization called Black Lives Matter that caused $2 billion of damage in one summer. You say, you can't say that at church. I just did. You say, but Jackson, that's not politically correct. That's not our goal. Our goal is to be biblically correct. That's our goal. Say, but you shouldn't say that, because the media, they're going to take this little clip, and Right Wing Watch is going to post it all over the internet. Let me tell you something. We are not a woke church that is spiritually broke. We do not bow down and kiss the feet of the organization called Black Lives Matter. It will never happen on this stage. You can mark my words.
This is the greatest example right here of what I just said. They will go to their church and they will start spitting. Did you hear this? The division. He literally gave the worst just strong and wrong information to these people. And he literally said that this organization is under witchcraft, under the Jezebel spirit. It doesn't.
A bunch of witchcraft practicing lesbians. Let's get it all out there. Witchcraft practicing lesbians.
And that's not the truth. And even if it was, who cares? Black Lives Matter stands for something, or, especially when it began, I should say, it stood for something for a lot of people to let us know that Black Lives Matter here in America, which they don't. So we had to keep telling them, because they just don't see it, that our lives matter. Black lives, they matter, because systemically they don't matter. We walk on the streets, they don't matter. We live in a predominantly white area, they're going to tell you, NIGGER, you don't matter. All kinds of ways. We see how they do us when it comes to our voting rights, all across the board. But the fact that he said it's related to the Jezebel spirit, we know the Jezebel spirit is a promiscuous spirit. It's fun. It's great. I'm just kidding. It's a promiscuous spirit this is what we call the Jezebel spirit. So I'm trying to see how that is. So the LGBTQIA plus community is the Jezebel spirit. Like, I don't really see how that he could be in the Jezebel spirit, probably cheating on his wife right now with a black woman. So listen. He's trying to hold on tight, just like the people over at Fox News, who probably don't even believe half the things they say. But when they get that check, it's like, ooh, I'm ready to lie again. I'm ready to stand at the forefront for all the lies. And I don't even care who gets the bullet, because it ain't going to be me. I'm protected. That's what these people do. But he doesn't understand. That is such a terrible thing to say, because when Black Lives Matter or people who are activists go out and protest, and there's any Black Lives Matter signs anywhere, we know what they do with that. They're burning those signs, or they're going to them and attacking them while they're just protesting for the life of somebody who was taken by police officers. It's really bad. Right. It's really bad.
Brother Pascal.
I mean, y'all said it beautifully. I mean, to me, I think it's just funny how it's the Jezebel, and then, but Jesus loves you. Please buy my holy water. It's my bath water. $9.99. You know what I mean? So to me, for me, it's just all this pandering, grifting type crap to say whatever they need to say to keep their congregation under their roof, and it's just sad to me, to be really honest. Yeah. Why would he go out of his way? Why would this guy go out of his way to talk about this in front of his congregation? Of all things, he could talk about anything else. There's a big ass book, whole bunch of stories, great stories. You know what I'm saying? He could talk about anything else under the sun, and he decides to talk about how the Jezebel spirit of the
what movie did this? What movie did this guy play in? He looks, you called him, he looks like one of those actors, but the truth of it is this is exactly the type of language that does what you said. Keep their members under the roof, because they want to keep those tithes and offerings coming in. And because they know if they talk like this about Black Lives Matter, they tap into a nationwide, quite frankly, an international network of bigots who will fund them. And you wonder, like Rebecca, you said in the last clip, like, how do all these people have platforms? Well, they get funding because they go up there and say stuff like this.
Well, what I got to do? Lie?
This is all you got to do?
I was going to say, this is the reason why the liberal voice is very, very small, even out here on this platform to begin with, because there is so much money that is backing the conservative voice, the right wing extreme voice that's out there, and it's a sad thing to know that there are people out there that are willing to write a fat, huge check for people like this, when there are so many other amazing, strong voices that are out there that are speaking truth, that are speaking positivity, that are speaking about hope. And those people are still struggling to even get their voice heard. But then these guys get thrown into the front, thrown into the zeitgeist of all this, and say, this is the way. And it's frustrating. It's so frustrating. Because this is some old school backwoods Jezebel talk that the world needs to hear less of. This needs to be the minority voice out here, not the other way around.
That's right. That's right. Brother Pascal, I know you got to go in a minute here. You got your show coming up at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, 9 o'clock Central. And tell the people what they can expect on the Pascal show this morning.
Well, this morning is a little bit different. I'm doing a exclusive interview with Raylan Howard. She's the TikTok star that was kicked off of the Alaska Airlines flight because of what she was wearing. There is weight discrimination and race discrimination that she is claiming. And so she's going to be on. We're going to do an in-depth interview with her today at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome.
Definitely. I would love to catch that. So definitely going to be tuned in after the show. Yeah, I'll be tuned in because that sounds like a really good.
Don't log off in the middle of the damn show.
Don't.
Where did she
I'm
go?
not gonna do that. I said after the show.
Put up the man's promo, please.
I'm going to watch it. It sounds like a good interview, for real.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It'll be fun. It's a little different.
Just make sure you don't go until after the show, Rebecca.
Right. Stay right
Where do
here.
they right here on YouTube. So all they got to do is type in the YouTube chat the Pascal show, and it'll take you right to the show.
That is not that man. Every time y'all can put this picture up, I'm like, that is not that man. It's almost like a mix of Tyler Perry.
That's what I'm about to say. He's looking like Tyler Perry in that picture.
Yeah. And that gospel singer, I forgot his name, but it's just
voice going on. Anthony Brown.
Yes.
Like
it's giving that merge right there.
There we go. I'll take that. Fine. Just say I'm a better looking version of Tyler Perry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're a better looking. You're a better looking version of Tyler Perry. Not to say that Tyler Perry's ugly or anything, but
no, he's not. I'm not going to make a comment because you never know who we're going to be making deals with in the future. I digress, Brother Pascal.
That's why I say he ain't ugly. Yeah.
But
all right.
Pascal,
you're a good-looking man, Tyler Perry. You're a good-looking. No, let's get out of here. We're gonna go to break. Pascal, thank you for joining us. And whenever Rebecca gives you permission to come back on the show, we'd love to have you back, man.
Every Wednesday, once we get that together, you could be back. You could be back every Wednesday as long as it goes through me. See ya. Bye, Pascal. I'll be on your show later. I will be watching.
Pascal, real quick before you go.
Okay.
Why did the betting hide their relationship?
Why did the what?
Why did the betting hide their relationship?
Why did the betting hide the relationship?
Why did the betting hide the relationship? Something with
Juanita Bottoms, no sheets.
They just wanted something pillow key.
What?
Come on. Go to break. Go to break.
I didn't understand that one.
Go to break. Get me off the screen.
Pillow key? No. I can't stand y'all. It does. Shout out to Studio Stilettos Gamer for her super chat. She said, Jezebel lives matter. Since I can't stand you, man. Hey, shout out to the brother Pascal for joining us this morning. Make sure that you go over to the show this morning after our show, that is. Now, if you're not a patron, of course, you won't be able to get in Patreon because we go private at 10 o'clock. So then those that are not going over to the show then can go see Pascal show. Yay! Did I say that right? I think so, but I just confused the hell out of myself then. Anyway, y'all, make sure y'all go follow and view the brother Pascal, man. Mara Sharice, I know. Good morning, Mara. Yeah, hustle, you did, but you know I gotta stay on the camera. I wanna go lay down, but I can't.
Baby, you set my soul on fire every morning.
Real quick, Dwayne. Hey, dogs can't operate MRI machines, but cats can. Dwayne gonna take me down one day. It's not gonna let me back in. Y'all know that 5 out of 4 people are bad at fractions. I know that went over Ben's head.
I'm flying so high, I need to cool me down. I'm flying so high, I don't see the ground. Baby, you set my soul on fire every morning and every evening.
Shoot the dragon, tell your 8-year-old I said thank you very much. I'm glad that someone appreciates my corny behind humor. Thank you. Laura Estrada, this is Store Zetterberg featuring Lakeisha Nugget.
And every evening, and maybe we can't get any higher. But if you like to take a ride, we can discover what we're hiding.
Yay! All right, y'all. Welcome back to the screen. My brother from another mother and my sister from another mister, Ben and Rebecca.
James.
Real quick, y'all. Real quick. I lost my job at the bank on the first day. A woman asked me to check her balance, so I pushed her over. What's going on, Ben?
Y'all
James, just laugh. Y'all know y'all want to laugh. Just go laugh.
I do.
I thought you were serious. I said, "Oh my God!"
I requested two. And we got like 18. So I'm gonna be careful.
You did?
But I asked for it next time. But I'm gonna say this: I have no problem with I don't even care. Let's laugh as much as we can, y'all, because I'm telling you, otherwise. This stuff that we got going on in this country, like it will make. So thank you. Those are the corniest jokes I've ever heard in my life. But thank you for them both.
My pleasure.
That's it, Rebecca. What we got next? Since I don't have the sheet in front of me.
Me neither.
Okay, I got the sheet in front of me. Okay,
y'all better. I'm about to say y'all better hurry up. I'm gonna keep telling jokes.
I just want to flex. I just want to mess with the real quick. I love you, Rebecca. But I know y'all about to go off on this next clip because had this been in Nebraska, I don't care where I am. You come up on me coughing, I consider that an assault, and I will respond in kind. And if you are like in this clip, a woman, I'll just have to call my sisters. Let's watch the clip.
That's excuse me? Excuse me. I'm coming through. You're so cute. She's coughing at me. She's coughing at me. No, yes. Look at you guys. You're so cute. You're such a Karen. Okay, whatever.
She followed them through the store.
Why don't you have a mask on? Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you. Okay, but you don't have to be coughing at me. You don't know who's sick or not. It's my allergies. You don't know who's sick or not by looking at somebody. Yeah. And so 2 years ago, before anybody started talking about COVID, you were okay with that, though, going out not knowing you were sick, right? You don't know anything about my health. I don't. Yeah, she's coughing at me. I have my allergies, and she got all freaked out because I'm coughing. No, she don't. No, she's coughing. How do you know? You don't know, and she just said, I don't know anything about her health. You don't know anything about my health. Maybe I have a medical release. I don't need to wear a mask. Okay, bye. Why don't you have a mask on? Because I don't need to have one on. I'm not sick, and neither are you.
Hoo cha.
I have allergies. Yeah. And so 2 years ago, before anybody started talking.
It's just absolutely disgusting, bruh. That's just like there are really people like this. I want y'all to understand that there are really people like this out there. Like people who are shooting people because I'm a cashier at a store and I ask you to put your mask up and you get mad.
That's right.
Because I ask you to put your mask on. You go outside and get a whole damn gun and kill a person because they ask you to put your mask on. What's so damn difficult about doing that? Like, this really pissed me off, bro. This really pissed me off.
Yeah. It really couldn't have been Rebecca Azor, Libika Azor. Jamais de ma vie. It could have never been me, because I would have smacked the hell out of this woman, out of the disrespect, especially if I was with my mama. She would have got roundhouse kicked, bicycle kicked in her chest.
Like Peter did on Family Guy. Roundhouse.
Yes, I would have stomped her into the store floor. I would have taken every 3 strands of hair that she has left on her head. I would have gotten this lady together like nobody's business but God's. Listen, I need you guys to understand that the disrespect can only go but so far.
That's right.
Sometimes you're going to run into wrongest right person in your life.
That's right.
And it's going to be a lesson for you. It's going to be a lesson for you because people give grace. I'm somebody who gives grace in particular moments. Sometimes grace is out the window on sight because this right here is very disrespectful. And, I know sometimes the anti-maskers and the people who believe in the conspiracy theory surrounding COVID-19 and the Delta variant, they're very extreme. But it's almost as if they're dangerous, right? They're very dangerous. And like you said, Bubba, just for the simple fact of somebody saying, hey, you can't come into the store with your mask. Somebody will go to their car and possibly get a gun and come back in the store because they felt disrespected, but they don't see this as disrespect. What they call this is very American. It's patriotic. I'm doing this because I have my rights. Do you understand? I have the freedom of speech and the freedom to do whatever I like, or I have a health issue. And with the argument of the health issue, they're asking, well, what is your health issue? Well, I have rights. That's the issue right there. And to me, it just sounds like your issue is that you're racist, or you just have no idea that what you're doing right now could get your ass killed. But in the same sense, you can definitely get people killed with just coughing on somebody, playing around, but you may as well have COVID-19.
That's right.
And that is what is my issue. No, this lady I would have been risking my life.
Yeah.
Because I would have slapped every taste out of her mouth. Then she would have been like, I can't smell, I can't taste.
And she would have thought she had COVID, then mama would have slapped her because I can't hit females. The guy I'm on phone hit Rebecca, my mama, my sisters, my niece.
Wait,
somebody
you said Mama Gwen?
on her.
No,
Mama Gwen just said in the chat, when I get mad, I am scary angry. When she coughed on me, that would have been one of those days. Mama already said in the chat, I saw jail bars.
Lord. Mama
That's where
Gwen?
I get people don't understand. I get my temper doesn't come from my father because I used to have a very bad temper. My temper comes from my mother.
Mine
it's
too,
like,
Rosemary.
Poke the bell. You poke the bell. You keep poking. I'm nice as hell. I am. When you keep on poking, I'll Hulk out. Literally.
Y'all both, you speaking of Bear, this is a horrible transition, but y'all both mentioned that the very tragic case here in Georgia of the clerk who was killed because she asked somebody to put the mask on, and it was at a grocery store called Big Bear. And James, you put it at the beginning of this, you put that thing spot on. Y'all, we dealing with folks who would happily either harm you because you asked them to do something that's in the best interest of everybody, like put on a mask. Or you have people like this Karen who is out in this grocery store not knowing whether or not she's spreading COVID-19 because there are asymptomatic people. And just the fact that she feels like the thing to do in the middle of the pandemic is to make a statement by coughing on people suggests that she wants to inflict that type of pain on people. So that's why I see this as assault. And anything that transpires after that to me is self-defense. Because if I don't defend my family from her coughing on them, they very well could die.
And that's
and Dwayne, you about to say something to Dwayne as well too. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
No, all I was going to say was she had the right one that day because certain people, she would have had a health issue when she got punched in her face.
Exactly.
Jesus Christ.
That part.
She played with the right ones that day. Don't come to Atlanta with that though.
And no offense, and it's great those people provided grace for her, because I don't know if they're minorities or whatever, but we already know if police officers would have come, she probably would have been on the floor crying and said that she was abused, that she was attacked, and they wouldn't have. They didn't want to put their phones down because they were filming her, and then all that stuff could have been a result of what this woman is doing, and that's just why. But I would have been willing to go to jail, especially if my mom was with me. I would have definitely. I do not play.
Self-preservation is a natural instinct. And you're in the middle of a pandemic and you cough on somebody. Go ahead, James.
But no, that's grounds for instant butt whooping right there.
Even outside,
she needs to be charged.
Even outside of the pandemic, they teach you that when you were a little kid. Like you don't cough and sneeze and all that on people. You don't do that.
That's real. On a good day when the sun is shining and the clouds are just right and there ain't no pandemic and this woman wants to go around here, this human being wants to go around here coughing on people. You right. I agree with every one of y'all. She got the right ones that day and the wrong ones too.
And somebody brought it up in the chat as well too. Why is it all Karens have that weird ass smile before they go on a little tirade? If you go back to the beginning of this clip, just look at her face.
Go back to it. Let's see.
It's all Karens have that same facial expression.
Possession, they're possessed. There goes that witchcraftery. That's witchcraft.
That's that witchcraft practicing lesbian. But she ain't black though.
I was going to say call her Jezebel spirit, but I don't even buy into all that because we got to talk about the patriarchy version of the Bible. But I digress. Let's go with Stephen A. Smith. Now, I'm not even I don't know. I don't know how I feel about Stephen A. Smith most days. But that said, he had a great segment yesterday. It's a little long, but I think it's worth watching in regards to the pandemic. Let's take a look at that.
They lucky I ain't running the NFL. Yeah. Best interest of the league clause. You wouldn't play. Coaches, staff, other folks employed by the leagues have to be vaccinated. Right. The only people that it's not mandated for are the players because they have a union, the Players Association, that's protecting them from what? Because I got news for you. You ain't protecting them and you ain't protecting us. The reality is that if you end up testing positive, you can have an effect on somebody else. So if you get vaccinated, chances are you don't have to go to the hospital. You could go home, you're going to feel sick, but you can recover because you already have the vaccine. Oh, by the way, when we're available, my time comes in December. The second it's time to get the booster shot, I'm getting the booster shot. Oh. Why? Because I work with y'all. Yeah. And I work in this building, and I got to work around other people, and I have children, and I have a family. I'm so done with people I'm talking about the athletes. These are private industries. Yeah. You don't have to play. You ain't entitled to play. I think it's shameful when athletes talk about, it's a private matter. It is not a private matter because it affects anybody that's standing right next to you. If I hear one more person, Marcus, talk to me about what's in the vaccine. Oh, my God. Also, the flu shot, chicken pox, and all these shots you've been taking all of these years. All right, excuse me, Molly, people take supplements and vitamins. So now what we trying to say? Why always damn yelling? What we do is we look at the bottle and we dissect every ingredient in the supplement, the vitamin, and then we Google it and we look it up. I'm damn liar. They're full of it. If it were me, they wouldn't even be allowed to play.
No, that requires. It requires an organ behind it. You know how Ben, you say you always want the human organ behind it because of the voice. Yeah. The changes in the voice inflections that he did from clip to clip to clip to clip. It gave me. He was standing at the pulpit and he was preaching to the masses. He was giving a word to the people. He went from you better not even think about going out on that field and being unvaccinated because
they're playing sports ball.
Because I know what it feels like to be vaccinated. And if I hear one more, it was all of that. And it gave me, and then the little white lady, she was like, I'm with you.
Preach, I'm with you. Preach, Stephen. Yeah. Say it, Stephen.
Yeah, I don't really too much like everything that Stephen A. Smith says, but, there are times that he does get it right. I like to see when people get it right. Now, White people don't get that opportunity from me all the time, but Black people might get a little bit from me. We keep it in the family. I'm just
We'll discuss that at another day.
But no, seriously though, it Molly, what is she?
Was Molly
She's ambiguous. She's ambiguous.
Yeah.
Okay. That said, though, I mean, you're Rebecca. I don't agree. I don't even care about my lack of a disagreement with Stephen A. Smith. He just hollers all the time and gets on my nerves. But he's sure as hell right here. Like, this is a matter of public health. Y'all, you know, why is it that the stupid thing to do is championed in this country as the woke thing to do? When a football player or anybody gets out there and says, well, we don't know what's in the vaccine. That's the stupid thing to say, right? If you must know, then go Google it and actually do research, not on YouTube, not on whatever conspiracy theory groups that you're a part of. But the smart thing, everybody patting football players on the back. Oh, you're so strong. No, y'all are so strong on stupid, right? Because y'all gonna get people killed because you don't want to take a vaccine when you've been taking vaccines every part of your life.
No, it's very American of them. You know, football is an American sport. And so what they'll do here is really, it's pretty white. What they'll do here is really like make it seem like they own these football players. We saw how Donald Trump treated the football players. And because one Black person spoke out against the norm, the un-American way, you know, and they got in trouble for it. But now I like to see that there are people in the sports entertainment world, like the people who are in the media portion of it and who are saying, yo, hey, instead of being quiet, they're having a voice more so on this. Because we saw what happened to Jemele Hill when she backed for kneeling, Colin Kaepernick for kneeling. She was clipped. She was clipped. Right. But, you know, now I think that more, at least the male of colors who are on these networks can really speak up on issues that that affects everyone, especially like this one. Football players who are not vaccinated get on the field, maybe around people who are vaccinated during the weekends when they go to the club, their family members, get back on the field, give it to another player. Another player gives it to another player. Then they go home, give it to their family. Some people may or may not recover. We're talking about the ripple effect here. And that's with football players, but that's all across the board because coronavirus, virus corona, the Delta variant, that does not give a damn what your career is. Okay. Right. It doesn't care how much money you got in the bank. It really doesn't. Y'all stupid people who have the money and are choosing not to get vaccinated. Really dumb. But you know, it's like, it doesn't matter. You can get got at any moment, at any time. And for the NFL to, allow some people to not be vaccinated, that's very weird. But if they are, telling them, hey, y'all got to be vaccinated to come on. Some people are saying it's their beliefs. They can't do it because of their beliefs and da-da-da-da. But, a lot of y'all with the beliefs and stuff had to get that vaccine to get into America. And it done marked up your arm, but she was willing to get that vaccine to come into America. Okay. But now that they're telling you to stay safe, you guys are questioning the motives of the vaccine and saying that the vaccine will definitely give you these effects. They're putting COVID-19 in your body. They're, this will give you, it'll give you wings, or, all kinds of BS that people are believing. And I feel like just in simple things like sports, the arenas should require people who are vaccinated. Somebody online was saying how they got COVID-19 and they're vaccinated, but they made it clear that, hey, I've probably had it for 5 days now because I was exposed to the Delta variant, but I don't feel anything. That's because I'm vaccinated. I wouldn't have never known, but as soon as I found out that I was exposed, I decided to quarantine. And then I went and got checked, then it was positive, but I feel nothing. The people who were with me who weren't vaccinated, it's another story.
That's another story. And Rebecca, it's funny you said that about the vaccines. Mom was telling me Gwen has a lot of stories, y'all. That's all I say. She probably got more stories than Rebecca do. But when I tell you, she was telling me, we were talking a couple of days ago about when they were getting vaccinated for the smallpox vaccine, or for smallpox in the 60s. Mama, you probably got to correct me. But back then, it's been the same thing. A lot of false information, misinformation, and they were actually vaccinating kids at school when all of this was going on. So it was a lot, and I can't wait for her to come on here, Gwen, to tell you all about it. Like I said, she got more stories than Rebecca do, and she'll share all of them. I love it.
I only lived 31 years of life. I would love to hear the wise stories instead of my stories full of mistakes. And
they ain't full of mistakes, Rebecca. You be spit some stuff, Rebecca. Girl, don't ever say that. Your story is enough full of mistakes. I'll be loving it.
Y'all, Rebecca don't let Rebecca fool you at all, and I don't think she can fool y'all. Rebecca be out here starting revolutions at every place she go to. It don't matter everywhere. It don't matter if it's at her job. It don't matter if we were at a restaurant. I don't even remember, but I feel like when we went out to get drinks, the three of us, she did somebody she stood up for, because that's just what she do. That said, I want brother James, tell Mama Gwen we'd love to have her anytime she's available, because we need to hear some of these stories, man. Because everybody need to know what it's like to have a Mama Gwen in their universe.
Okay.
The next clip, though, was about to snatch all of our joy right out of our breath. just snatching our souls because of the step and fetchery of none other than Larry Elder. We covered it in On the Clock, but I just I need to see what y'all say about this guy. Let's run the clip of Larry Elder, who is running for governor in California. He's a black man who proudly admitted that he is the black face of white supremacy. Let's take a look.
Violent crime is up. Shootings are up. Homicides are up. One of the reasons is because of this bogus, false narrative that the police are engaging in systemic racism. It's called the Ferguson effect or the George Floyd effect, pushed by the left, who are attacking officers for doing their job.
This systemic racism, it's a lie. The police are not engaging in systemic racism against black people. If anything, the studies show the police are more hesitant, more reluctant to pull the trigger on a black suspect than a white suspect. It's a lie. So I want to say hello to Clovis. Clovis, say hello to the black face of white supremacy.
I want to see it. Was it him? I don't know.
That's him. This
is what's crazy. Like, give me the background on this man before I say what I say. Like, what?
He's old school conservative. He's been making money off of being the black face of white supremacy for some years. He wrote a book. I think I read like 3 pages and realized he ain't about nothing. And he used to have a little TV show where he was a judge of the moral court. So he fancies himself to be the moral black person. And morality defined by him as being the black face of white supremacy.
My God,
who raised him?
So dumb. That is so dumb. Like, I'm just
who raised him?
Like,
you ain't got no home training.
It makes no sense, man. Like, I literally was like, so who is it? It can't be this man. Like, not this ER in the middle of these widows behind him. When he's putting down. Okay.
Now that is a methodology that I approve of, Rebecca Azor. We are going to implement that. Y'all just got to get mad at me. Go ahead, sis.
Like, there's no way that I don't see the reason why. Maybe, he's getting a check and all that, but he looks ridiculous. And even the lady behind him, they're all looking like weirdos, man. It's giving Get Out. Yes. But he's chosen to be here. He wasn't lured or anything. It doesn't. He literally probably was offered some money, and it was like, hey, this is going to heal every part of my life. I'm about to shuck and jive all the way to the grave. I do not care. I don't care what people think about me. Yeah. Herman Cain shucked and jived all the way. And this is not a joke. Not saying this to be funny. But that man definitely shucked and jived all the way to his grave. In the name of somebody. Being the black face of white supremacy in the White House. Mm-hmm. And he lost his life because he wanted to be maskless and standing the American way. That man has lost his life. Candace over here can't grow 1 grain of hair to make it full because she's standing for white supremacy.
Edges on her.
Just white supremacy just snatching her edges. Rebecca, I can't.
It's gone.
All of them.
They're gone.
Snatched all of them.
Now we got this brother over here. He got a good hairline, but
so that hairline is not good. Look at that head.
I don't know.
That forehead is long and strong.
That forehead.
That forehead is long and strong.
Hey, hold on now.
Rebecca got a thing for long faces.
Like one of them old school football.
So I can't.
Wait, hang on. We had a lot of folks talking right there because we all want a piece of Larry Elder. Dwayne, what did you say?
I said his hairline looks like one of them old school leather football helmets.
Leatherhead. Oh, man. James, I heard you too.
Shout out to Laura Starter real quick. As he said, vote please. He is getting close. It's scary here in California.
Okay, that's the most important part of this conversation. The California recall election is next Tuesday, September 14th. And so far, according to our producer, 74% of the ballots mailed to voters have not been returned yet. So this guy is trying to become the governor of California.
Along with old boy who has the same
Caitlyn Jenner
woman. I said old boy.
Yes.
Along with Caitlyn Jenner looks like the Jason mask, and that's let's move on. But I was looking
California
at
gubernatorial cover. I'm gonna help you out here with the assist, Rebecca. California gubernatorial recall candidate Caitlyn Jenner.
Yes,
Texas
but no,
law effect. Go ahead.
Both of them do not have any. To me, Caitlyn Jenner. She was just on, was it CNN in an interview, and she was saying that because they were asking about the abortion law. Let me tell you what this person who wants to be the governor of California said, literally.
Yeah.
And you have to watch these people and what they say. I watched it and I was just looking like, what? Caitlyn Jenner said that you listen to this, and this is very white. Caitlyn Jenner said, I have no issue with the laws passing in Texas because they have the rights as a state to do what they need to do. So if that's what they wanted to pass, that's what they wanted to pass. Now, me, for instance, so she kept asking, the reporter kept asking, hey, so you have no issue with it happening in Texas, right? But you're saying would you add it would you add it here in California? And she was like, no, I mean, for me, it's not something that I would do. But now for Texas, I have no issues with it happening in Texas. So it tells you that the person is riding the fence. Once you put this person in the seat, you may not know if she may change her mind and say, you know what? Abortion is fine. That abortion law was fine. I would love to adopt that same model that Texas did. We see a lot of times when these people go and sit down in these seats. Sorry, Ben. We see a lot of times when people go sit down in these seats, how much they can switch. So yes, Laura is right. Laura has been posting to vote since day one in there. If you guys don't see, she posts all the time because she knows what's going on in California.
Yeah.
And how everything could be swayed. But yeah, let's take a listen to what Caitlyn Jenner said.
I am for a women's right to choose. I am also for a state having the ability to make their own laws. And so I support Texas in that decision. That's their decision. I'm okay with that. But as far as being a woman's right to choose, I don't see any changes in our laws in California in the future.
But you're fine with the Texas law, even though you say that you support abortion rights. You are fine with a law that essentially outlaws abortion.
I think they have the right in their state to do what they want to do. Now, do I agree with the decision or not? No, to be honest with you, I actually probably do not agree with the decision, but I agree with they have the right to make their own decision.
What kind of...
It's very hypocritical.
Kind of word salad was
hypocritical.
It's hypocritical. It doesn't make any sense. So when I was listening to it, and even, the reporter was like, hey, so you're saying, so, and the everything that was coming out of her mouth was, yeah, I am a believer of state. State should have the right. State, like, basically, they should have the right over someone's body. But here in California, I get that we're a little bit more free. So I'm all about women's rights, but state should have their rights. So make it make sense. Because the state of Texas thinks they should have the right over women's bodies. So you're all about women's rights. How? And you're part of a group that is disrespected like nobody's business. There's a lot of laws out there. that disrespects the LGBTQIA plus community. You're somebody who considers yourself a woman now, and you want that respect, but you know there are laws that are against that. And as a woman, you're saying that you know you're all about women's rights, but it's showing a it's only when. I'm all about women's rights only when. That's what it's giving me.
My question is, how do you balance? Because this is what Republicans, conservatives are really, really good at. So we just saw Larry Elder. We talked about Candace Owens, and we got Caitlyn Jenner. You have Dinesh D'Souza. You have all these people who are part of minority communities who are willing to do the bidding of white supremacy. Right. So let's just be clear. Like there's not but one step between white supremacy and what's happening with women's rights in Texas. Right. Let's just be clear. It's all part of the same thing. What do you think? What does anybody think Larry Elder, when if for God forbid he actually wins, what do you think that black man is going to do in the state of California? He's going to turn it into Florida. He's going to turn it into he's going to be Governor DeSantis. So it's not just, I want everybody to understand, it's not just the fact that these people are out here doing things to the benefit of white supremacy. It's that they really desire to get in power so that they can harm you in the same way that Ron DeSantis is harming people, in the same way that Greg Abbott in Texas is harming people, in the same way all these Republican governors who are exacerbating this pandemic are literally committing mass murder because these are those people. So there's no disconnect between their bigotry, their white supremacy. And I'm just fascinated at how Republicans have been so successful at getting people from marginalized communities. Well, no, it's not magic. With Larry Elder, it's a check.
It's the fact that but they're all to me the same. I heard Caitlyn speaking and what she said, and I'm hearing Larry. They all have this agenda. Larry speaking on behalf of white supremacy because he believed that that's going to win him a seat. And Caitlyn speaking on I don't know, because I just heard two sides that didn't make sense, trying to be merged together, making a terrible sandwich. I don't really, but
I don't get it.
I don't get it. And if you're supposed to be our leader, that gray area should be either black or white for us. Yeah. Because when we're seeing gray and we're not understanding, you really, in this day and age, you have to pick a side. You got to pick a side. Because back in the day, it used to be that. Remember, we were just talking about it, the bipartisanship. That was like a whole thing for like 3 months until it wasn't. And now we're here, and it's like she's trying to ride both sides. But the both sides that she's riding, to be honest, to me, only point to a very conservative. It's like even in the marginalized community, there's separation, and you may have a conservative side to it, and you may have a liberal or more free side, a free thinking side to it. And I think for Caitlyn, she's a part of the conservative side of the LGBTQIA community, and believes that because she is trans woman, that she will gain the votes of so many people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Especially in California.
Yeah. Yep. But honestly, I believe that people in that community see the BS straight through as well. And it's like,
absolutely.
No. You're only going to benefit people in the LGBTQIA plus community that are a certain way, or that are in a certain bracket, or that's going to be that, and everybody else is going to be left behind.
You something that you said really triggered a thought, and it's escaping me right now. But it is the fact that these folks really, I mean, we see, I'm going to believe that the LGBTQIA community sees through Caitlyn Jenner, just like we see through Candace Owens, just like we see through Larry Elder. They really, Republicans and conservatives really believe that if they just put somebody up who is a representation of our community, that, there's a black man who's voting Republican, I guess I got to support Donald Trump, which is kind of what this is all about. We have one more clip of Donald Trump throwing his support behind Larry Elder in that recall election. Let's take a quick listen in.
Got the recall election coming up in less than a week. It's actually happening as we speak. The polls appear to show Newsom looks safer at this point. Larry Elder is the man that could take it from him. What do you think happens in California?
Well, it's probably rigged. They're sending out all ballots. It's all the ballots are, mail out, mail in ballots. In fact, I guess you even have a case where you can make your own ballot. When that happens, nobody's going to win except these Democrats. So, look, they're very good. The one thing they're good at is rigging elections. So I predict it's a rigged election. Let's see how it turns out.
They still talking about it. Rigged election. I mean,
he's still around.
Like, what is happening? What network is that? Is that the news? What
it's
network
one of those,
is that?
It's one of the Newsmax or OAN, one of them conservative outlets. Yeah.
Newsmax. That's what it was. And it's like, he really has partnered with Newsmax to get every single, and they thought, Newsmax really thought that it was going to be like, we're going to have the former president of the United States partnering with us to get all of his quotes and his thoughts. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. But child, every time we hear him speaking, it's like, why? Like, it's honestly, this man will bring up the oldest things, and like rigging the elections, like him actually winning the seat. They're giving him this platform to have these conversations. Now right. He's going to talk about what happened to him possibly happening to the candidates of California if their people do not win, saying this is what happened. It happened to me. There was rigging in the rig that happened in the election. The voters. Machines weren't working, all of this and that. No, the people just either saw, hopefully the people of California will see that these candidates, it's so many, but candidates, they will see that they are not going to benefit them and their needs. And I pray that Laura Estrada and everyone who is in California, get something amazing and great for them as a leader. I pray that for every state. Unfortunately, it's just not something that we have. Me, from where I come from in Florida, not great representation. It's sad. It's sad for that place to have what it has. Here in Georgia, not great representation. We have a lot of great leaders within the community. Like the women that we've had on the show, the representatives that we had on the show, Black women and Black men who have been doing their thing. But the higher ups are people who don't give a damn about us. Now in California, I hope that you get something better. I pray that you get something better. I pray that the options outside of Elder and Miss Caitlyn Jenner, I pray that you guys choose. Well, I mean, better.
All they got to do is to not recall. Too. All they have to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gavin Newsom ain't perfect, but he's sure as hell better than either of those two people that we just got through hearing from. So it is a game that is being played by Republicans across the country. They're not playing. Actually, let me actually start that sentence over, because it is not a game. They're playing for keeps. They're going, Republicans and conservatives are going state by state, taking over the state houses and the governor's seat, and then they're passing this type of legislation that's going to snatch away a woman's right to her autonomy to her body and privacy. And so what they're doing is a technique in California, trying to undermine trying to monopolize on a special election, on a recall election, to try to get power, right? And this is what they're trying to do. So their best option is to simply keep Gavin Newsom, even though, I got problems with him too, but being the blackface of white supremacy ain't one of them, And so California, y'all go out there, return those mail-in ballots, because we cannot afford. I'll put it like this: Larry Elder is going to ensure that the death rate from COVID-19 increases in California. There's no way to say it other than that. If you want to increase the amount of people who die from COVID-19, elect Larry Elder. Let's go to the after party. If you want to join us, go to patreon.com/like it or not. We're going to go to a quick break. Those of you who are not coming, obviously, go over there, support our brother Pascal over at the Pascal Show. But this is your opportunity to come and see us in our rare form, in our true form.
Would love for you guys
our final form.
Yes, our final form of the day. Ben changes clothes. He changes shape. It's crazy. He's a shapeshifter.
Did you say he changes shape?
You will see.
Because you can see I have a neck. I actually do.
No. I wasn't talking about his physical. I was talking about, when he changed clothes.
Okay. Because I was about to say, Rebecca, did you see his intro for his show?
Oh no, he done got his intro for his show together.
He got his intro, and I love it. And it's dope as crap. But when I tell you,
that as we go to the after show, I would love to see it. I would love to see it.
He look like a little butterball. I'm like, oh man, he's so cute. Look at him.
Not a butterball. I can't do it.
Picture little cheeks.
Hey, that's why he didn't come. That's why he ain't come take our pictures, because he was too busy getting his stuff together. Let me see it.
Let me see it, Rebecca. It's the old one. It's from a year. It's from a year and a half ago. But let's do that. No, I want James to take us to break. But I mean, if you want to see it, Dwayne, play it for us, and we're gonna take a quick break. When we come back, it's the after party. For the rest of you, we'll see you next time.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show.
Shout out to Brother Ben, y'all. When I tell y'all, my Brother Ben has come a long way, man. A long way, brother. Shout out to you, Ben, all right, man. The intro was dope as hell, though. I just have to play it again, okay? Anywho, y'all, make sure if you have not already, patreon.com/like-it-or-not. You too become a member and get access to the after party, y'all. So, hey, if you're not coming over to the after party, y'all, go ahead, head over to Pascal's show and check my brother out, man. And if not, we will see y'all at the after party. Make sure that you stay tuned.
I should have known when I met her back at Midtown at Dogwood when I was going through a rough patch, but it's all good. I even told about the dark times I had in childhood when we was driving off of I-10 in Kirkwood. Now all that time I never get it back. You wanted that. Used to hate when I didn't want to hang. I noticed that. Used to talking about your ex Jake with your next Jack. Used to messing with them white boys. Now she went black. Wait a minute. Guess you went and got yourself a real life. Got yourself some booty shots and live villa.
Justice, good morning, Justice. William Moore, good morning to y'all. Good morning.
Up close, baby, you a ghost. You a demon, and you should float. Get out the way and just go, and just go, and just float. How you gonna lie when you looking in my eyes and you say you down for the cause, but you really here for the ride? You ain't really feeding no sheep. You're a K9 in disguise. Shoulda never gave you nothing but a funky high five. I know we can't go back in time, but I wish I could rewind and get back all that money that I spent every nickel and dime. Cause you a lie. Oh, you a front. You gon' say anything as long
Have a great day, y'all. Love y'all too. Mean it. Make sure that y'all stay tuned. If you come to the after party, we will be there momentarily, y'all.
Yeah, I heard that you met him at the bar, Louis. Okay, don't try to do him like you try to do me, baby. You a cold-blooded killer like Stu. Cause up close, baby, you a ghost. You a demon, and you should float. Get out the way and just go, and just go, and just float. Float like a balloon, apple, empty bottle, cork, styrofoam, and most dead bodies. You killing